to the world's greatest karate tournament, the Sekai Taikai.
Welcome into Box Office Quarterbacks. Ahmed, we're talking about Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai never dies, obviously. And here we are again for the fourth time, I think, talking about this show.
You know, Jeff, when you texted me, the day before yesterday, and you were like, I'm speechless, I said not another word because I wanted to find out for myself. I'm still left with a lot of questions. I think this is going to be the first time in a very long time you and I are about to agree with each other. What the fuck was that?
I don't even know where to begin.
I thought this was supposed to be the final season.
Oh, it is still the final season. They're just doing it in 5 episode installments over 6 months. This is how they want to do it.
The stupidest thing I've ever heard. You made us wait 6 months to see this. Don't get me wrong. It was still entertaining, but I'm like, you didn't need to make us wait 6 months for that shit.
So I will say this about this show. There's finally some stakes involved here with how it ends, but how we get to the ending is some of the most frustrating storytelling I've seen in a long time. And like, I've seen better storytelling in like Days of Our Lives when I was like watching that on mute at work a long time ago.
It's like, what's even going on now? They're entering Fast and Furious territory at this point.
They really are. Like, dead characters come back to life. They are straight up resurrecting dead actors with some of the worst CGI you'll see in a long time. That was really what I'm going to take from this little chunk of the last episodes is what are we doing to Mr. Miyagi's legacy here?
Yeah, I don't know. What does this have to do now with everything that we've learned so far? And we're continuing to learn, like, new characters' names. Like, why do we need to know these new characters? Why do we need to hear like all this stuff? Like it's just fucking get to the point and finish the thought. Like, I understand the whole thing that Cobra Kai never dies, but honestly, we've talked about this, Jeff, at season 3 or 4, after, you know, Terry was in jail and everything like that. Just the end. We didn't need to know this. Now, this shit's going to give me nightmares.
Well, they like wrote themselves out of like corners conveniently here where I was like, how is Kreese at this overseas karate tournament? They're like, oh, well, he had PTSD and the charges were
going to go
dropped.
up against a veteran with blah, blah, blah. No, give me a fucking break. How did Terry Silver get out of prison? Oh, he was able to get him out because Stingray was a shitty witness. Like, that's the worst shit I've ever heard. Like, just let it die. I will say, though, I did like seeing more of Chosen. I was watching Karate Kid Part 2, where Daniel goes to Japan, and when you see Chosen, I was like, wow, like, he was ripped for the fucking 80s. Like, I'm not even exaggerating when I say he was ripped. I'm kind of sad that his career didn't blow up more, and if it did, and I just don't know about it, that's fault on me.
He was Johnny Tsunami's dad, Ahmed, in the Disney Channel original movie Johnny Tsunami.
Okay,
that's what I think of when I think
Johnny
of
Tsunami, but he did look familiar, so that explains a lot. But what's my point is I like seeing a lot more of Chosen. I love the little relationship that him and Kim, or whatever her fucking name is, I love that. I think that's going to be so cute. They're really cute together. And when she doesn't have her hair in that weird ass ponytail, she's very beautiful.
Yeah, that like Chosen continues to be the best character in the show. Probably 2 seasons running now, at least. Like, he's the comedic relief. I love when
he's the voice of reason too.
He is the voice of reason. Like, pull back a little bit. Like, act like adults, Daniel and Johnny, because if I were a parent sending my kids on an overseas trip, there is no way in hell I would trust these two guys to be watching my kids.
I wouldn't trust them to watch my damn dog. It's
No,
I'm
like
sorry. Just
Johnny
it's
is about to fight this guy on a plane and like get into federal custody. That's just one of the
not saying
stupid things
Homeboy
here.
didn't deserve it, but it's like Jesus Christ. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. We're jumping into different things too
Yes.
because none of the shit fucking makes sense. Um,
So the main narrative is the Saikai Taikai. They're over there in Barcelona trying to win this.
Barcelona.
Oh, Barcelona, as
You can't say it.
I
You're too
can't say it.
white.
I'm
Barcelona.
my Hispanic side did not help me out there, but yeah, they're trying to win the Saikai Taikai. There's all these other dojos on display, and obviously Cobra Kai is there. There's this very cartoonish new villain, uh, who is like the main bully of Cobra Kai. I forgot his name already, but
Sensei Wolf.
oh, Sensei Wolf is in charge of the Green Dragon or something like that.
Iron Dragon.
Yeah, see, I'm already losing it here, but like, uh,
Well,
God, there's so much to talk
there's
about.
so much. Okay, but to Jeff's point, they're introducing more characters. They're introducing new villains. I like the new villain. I think he's cool. But like, why do we learn about him now? It's and his student. It's like I'm it's all just so much to absorb. It's one of those where I'm like, what am I watching here? What was the whole point of this? And the fact that they're dividing into 5 parts, watching it like all together, it would have still made sense. There's no need for us to have that long gap. If anything, it's just going to frustrate me. It's literally like I said it earlier, and now I'm going to finish it. Unlike Cobra Kai, I'm going to finish this thought. Fast and Furious X, that should have been the end. And what? Oh, there's going to be 2 more, 3 more?
Yeah.
Why? No, let it die. Am I still going to watch the new one that comes with The Rock? Sure, whenever it comes out, whenever that fucking comes out.
Yeah, like I'm not like this show is entertaining. It entertained the shit out of me. Like I was watching this show, I was annoying my wife because I was doing narration over everything that was happening. I was like, "Oh, and here's Sensei Wolf about to beat somebody's ass."
Yeah.
And I was just doing stuff like that the entire time. But
See, I watch it by myself. Emily's done with this show. Like, she was watching parts of it, and she goes, "What the hell is this? Does nobody in this damn city have a gun?" Like, yeah.
exactly. And Daniel gets kidnapped, put in a dog cage. Oh my god. Oh
In Barcelona, Barcelona is not no place. Like, it's not a lawless land. Like, I'm sorry, Barcelona has class. How dare you try to do that to their legacy? Like, and then it's just some randos. And this is another thing. You brought it up earlier. He's about to fight a dude on a plane, and then they fly right back to Barcelona. So what the hell was that all about?
And what is like if I was Miguel's mom, there's no way in hell it's like, hey, I just went through this like life or death surgery. Get back
Yeah,
on
go
that
back to
plane.
Spain.
I was like, you two are gonna stay here with me. Like I
Yeah.
was alone for this whole thing. Stay with your mom and your
Yeah.
wife. What are you
And
doing?
Kenny shows up and Miguel. Like, I thought you couldn't do that. How can they do that? The rules are pretty loose. They're what? Are you kidding?
And then Tori and Sam are supposed to fight for the millionth time. How many times have we seen this?
Well,
And
and then it
then
all just erupts into a big fucking brawl. You're like,
that's the thing.
of course it has to erupt in a brawl because otherwise the shit doesn't make sense. So why not just make it a brawl?
And now, like somebody has died at the end of this brawl. So
Yeah,
that was the shocking thing. I was like, oh, okay, well, the show really went there. What does that mean? I feel like a lot of the adults in that room would be on the hook for something like that
yeah.
happening.
Well, and a part of me is kind of like, ooh, like I wonder what's gonna happen next. But a part of me was like, yo, if this is the ending, this is a fucked up ending.
And and then the camera guy is just live streaming this brawl, like,
Yeah, yeah. What
and
the
then
hell? They're just like, oh,
the kid falls in front of the camera like it's fucking Cloverfield or something.
yeah. What the? No, and a fucking crease. We saw it was very obvious. Oh, okay, yeah, he's gonna lose his sword. He's gonna lose the knife. He just gets there and he's just like, oh shit, I don't have it. You had one job, Crease, one job, and you screwed it.
Like, this is probably our most off the rails episode because I honestly couldn't tell you what my favorite scene of this season was. It was really that bad.
Oh, I have a favorite scene.
What's that?
It was when Kim and Chosen were fighting like a little bit, and then they made out. A reason why I like that scene is because if you go back to that scene, there's an extra who's just watching them, and she's just like, oh, oh, like
Oh
she's
my
watching
God.
them do their thing, and I'm like, that wasn't. Nobody told her that extra to do that. She's just like, oh, they're really going at it.
Oh my God. Like, the extras in here and the background actors and even like how they have like these kids dress is like hilarious. Like, my wife said it's like they found the J.C. Penney back to school catalog and they're like, here's your wardrobe for this show.
Yeah, I was when I was trying to rewatch season 6 from the beginning, and I saw that Tanner, who plays Robbie Keane, he's wearing a Tool shirt. I'm like, these kids don't fucking listen to Tool. I'm pretty sure these kids don't listen to Tool.
Yes, these 28-year-old kids.
Yeah, right. He's 20. He's 20-year-old. Now, if you say 28-year-old kids, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they listen to Tool. But not a 17-year-old. I got a 10-year-old that his favorite song is Seven Nation Army. Shout out to Issa.
Yeah.
But like Seven Nation Army, that's like to him that's an old song, but that was like our high school, middle school jam.
Yeah. I think the show has like overstayed its welcome for at least 3 seasons now. Like you said, it should have ended when Silver was arrested, and that would have been a natural end to the show. He is obviously the big bad of the entire series, and now you're just bringing him back for the sake of bringing him back. His story
Right.
was over.
Don't get me wrong. I like Silver. I liked how they introduced him. I liked everything about him. I just didn't like that now it's like here's what I think happened. I think the creators of Cobra Kai wrote themselves into a corner where they were like, okay, this is how we're gonna end it. It's a like poetic ending. You know, everything's all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and then some executive did too much coke and was like, no, 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 we need to make
More seasons.
episodes,
More seasons. More spin-offs. Isn't it amazing that Netflix, the studio that cancels everything after 2 seasons, has let this show run essentially like 7 seasons when you count these little divided up episodes we're getting now?
Yeah. You know, there's so many things that like they were good shows and they just it didn't work out for them, or shows that had a lot of potential, and then it just doesn't work out for them. The Weekends show, for example, had a lot of potential, and then it flopped. That's why we didn't do an episode about it. I'm wearing the chain because I'm obsessed with that man. You guys know this, and yet we didn't do an episode on The Idol because it was that bad. I
But
could rewatch Cobra Kai,
yeah.
but if it goes on for like another 3 seasons, I don't know, like it needs to be worth it. These next 5, is it 5 episodes?
We got 5 episodes left, and then they've pretty much confirmed we're getting a Mr. Miyagi prequel, and then we're getting the new Karate Kid movie starring Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and this new kid. And that is set 3 years after the end of Cobra Kai. So
Oh my god.
it's everything you hate, Ahmed. Everything has to be a shared universe, and we are getting a shared universe here.
No. What has happened, you guys? What have we done?
Ralph
Um
Macchio has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame now. He was at the
it's so
Tyson Paul fight with Zabka. Cobra Kai is never going to die.
yeah, I don't know how the creators like it was a nice concept in the beginning.
It was good in the beginning. It was
Yeah,
very
it was
good.
it was a cool like, oh, this is awesome. Unfortunately, and when Netflix picked it up, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But now it's just a little bit like the vision is gone. The vision is like a weird spider web of, like you said, different universes. Monkey Man was the last thing to impress me. We have a lot of work to do in the entertainment industry. Gladiator 2 is this weekend. You and
Mhm.
I are going to talk about it, hopefully. And that was one of those movies like, why did that need a fucking sequel?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the age of nostalgia now, and hopefully, like, we're gonna start getting more original ideas soon. Like, my two favorite things this year are based off of IPs, which is Alien Romulus and the Penguin. But I do want more original stuff. Like Monkey Man, I thought was a phenomenal movie, very very good, and like a first time director, an original story, not part of a shared anything. Was there like you know throwbacks to like John Wick and movies like that? Yeah, there was, but when it
Well,
comes to
that's a given. You're
yeah,
gonna have hell. The Penguin had references to The Sopranos and shit that I didn't catch until after we recorded.
yeah, like I do think that we need to give nostalgia a break at the end of the day.
And Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, was like the perfect nostalgia movie. Now that that's over, can we get back to the seriousness?
Well,
Like,
with like it, I think just the shared universes are going to continue because like DC is launching their thing, and now we have this Cobra Kai stuff. I really think we just, I guess we got to let it run its course. Like Cobra Kai is going to come out and it's going to end, but it really is not going to end. It's going to be like The Walking Dead, where you're getting 4 or 5 different spin-offs that we didn't ask for, and the show's going to continue forever. But that's just kind of where we are. I think it is a phase that Hollywood is going through, and I think people are getting tired of it. We need to find our own Karate Kid, like our own movie that's going to become a classic for like the kids growing up now, the Gen Alphas, the Gen Zs. We need a movie for them, not just a movie that we loved when we were kids and we're going to push it on to them. They need to find their own stuff. So hopefully we'll get that in the
the new
future.
Roadhouse would have been sweet, but unfortunately, just like Cobra Kai, they all have to get benched, and that's my ranking. I was really hoping to give it a starter, but I'm kind of like, no, just sit the fuck down, finish your shit, and whenever you're, yeah, no, just sit the fuck down. That's
I
it.
got to bench it too. It is pretty bad. There's some redeemable stuff in here, but I can't justify this show continuing to go on.
Just stay tuned, but uh, in the meantime, Netflix, come on, you can do better than that. Cobra
Yes.
Kai, you can do better than that.
Cobra Kai die. But
Yeah, quiet,
yes.
literally
Sit
quiet.
down. All right. Well, this has been
Oh, you
box
didn't
office
laugh at
quarterback.
quiet?
This has been box office quarterbacks. I'm
Whatever.
Jeff. That's Ahmed. We'll talk about this show again, unfortunately. But we'll see you guys for Gladiator 2. Have a good one.